Hey, everybody. Once again, Federer has put himself into position to play for the record books, and very exciting. Hurkacz coming through now, quarterfinalist, well-deserved, big win against Medvedev. And Federer, after a really scary and slow start at Wimbledon, is now in the quarterfinals. Just 8 players left. 40-year-old Federer, there he is. Again, putting himself in position to play for the record books. Maybe, if he can continue to keep playing a little better, he might end up with 21 Grand Slams by the end of the week. It is now a possibility. Okay, I thought when he played Manarino, I thought, no way is Federer ready to go all the way at Wimbledon. He's just not there. But amazing how these top players, these GOATs, get themselves into shape, get themselves ready for battle, and just perform at a very high level with very little preparation. I really don't know how they do it. Hurkacz, if you're not really familiar with him as a player, we're going to take a little bit of a look at him playing Dominic Thiem. I've never really watched him hit many balls. If you're a tennis fan, you know that he's having a pretty good year. He won in Miami. He's had some real great battles. He's played so many of the top players. I remember watching him play Tsitsipas indoors this year. I think they played at Rotterdam. I'm not sure, but I just remember being incredibly impressed at how competitive he is, how well-rounded he is. You know, so if you're somebody who thinks that Federer got off easy by not having to play Medvedev, because Medvedev fell to Hurkacz. So if you're thinking, oh, well, it's easy sailing now for Federer, he doesn't have to play Medvedev, you're mistaken. Hurkacz is not going to be an easy out for Federer. Federer, again, round by round, will have to get better if he wants to win. That's what I said going in against Sonego. I'm like, if he wants to beat Sonego, he's got to get better. Federer got better. He keeps getting better and betterer. That's Roger Federer. So I think he's going to have to do it again. I think he's going to have to step up his game. It seems like the hitting round by round is getting bigger. Hurkacz has a ginormous serve. It's a huge serve, guys. And so Federer's got to be ready for that. He's big and solid off both wings. Huge forehand, huge backhand, really nice backhand. Moves well for a big guy. Not a bad volleyer, not a great volleyer, not a bad volleyer. So the guy's got it all. Fed's going to have to bring it if he wants to keep winning. So, yeah, let's take a look at your comments. Diego says, Federer can't ask for a better draw, you think? Question mark? Absolutely. I think you're 100% right there, Diego. I think it was important that Federer in his first couple of rounds played somebody who was not that big a hitter, that could not just hit him off the court and not let Federer get any rhythm. So it was nice that his first couple of rounds, Manarino, gave him lots of looks at the tennis ball. Gasquet gave him lots of looks at the tennis ball. Then who was the next match he played? I know it's going to be a big, I forget who he played next round. Sonego was a great one. I'm missing one. Aren't I missing one? Anyway, he did have to play better and better and more consistent tennis, but I thought it was nice that he played people who were, Cam Norrie. How could I forget Cam Norrie? That's another tough player, but a great matchup for Roger Federer in the first couple of rounds. So he's playing somebody who's not going to blow him off the court. They're not going to take the racket out of his hands. These last two matches right here, almost every match until the final is like that for Federer, where he's playing players that if they're on their game, I know Roger Federer is one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. It depends on who you ask, right? But he's playing players that are dangerous, that if they're on, they can take the racket out of your hand. Marian Cilic did this to Roger Federer at the U.S. Open one year. Doesn't happen very often, but when a big player is on, just smoking serves, hitting big forehand winners, can follow it up sometimes and finish the net. Sometimes you're just at the mercy of how big they can hit the ball. And this is another match where Federer is in dangerous territory and that he's playing a really big hitter. But Federer is so good at deflecting that power, absorbing the pace, bringing it back with a nice chip, keeping the ball low, making big guys have to bend and create their own power from a low position, especially effective on grass. So, I think if you're a Fed fan, you're feeling really, really good about his chances, because this is about as good a draw as you can have. Tsitsipas isn't there. Nadal didn't play. A lot of people just not there. So, really, Federer now, I think in the first couple of rounds, I wouldn't really view him as a favorite. I didn't know it was going to happen. And Federer even made a quote like, you have to prove it to yourself that you can do it. A lot of doubts, a lot of questions. Federer even said, when you're younger, there's no questions. At his age, there's all questions. So this is just not my commentary. This is straight from the horse's mouth. Roger Federer saying that, he admits lots of questions. Didn't know how his body is going to respond. Took some risk, was willing to take some losses to keep asking questions about where his body was. And now, slowly but surely, he's figuring it out. He's like, man, I'm still there. The magic is still there. Roger still has the magic, guys. So let's see what else we have to say here. Can Shapo beat Joker? We'll talk a little bit about that, but tomorrow, unfortunately, Joker age and impressive matches this year will catch up to him. I see him losing in 4 or 5. To who? To who? You see him losing to Djokovic in 4 or 5? Looks like Federer is your favorite, Pete. Well, he's my favorite to get to the finals now. He's in the final 8, and with the final 8 players left, the people on his side, would you bet against Federer at this point? I would not bet against Roger right now. I wouldn't bet against Roger to get to the finals. He's sharp. He's getting more and more confidence. He's playing players that, he has a winning record against. He's only played Hurkacz once. He beat him a couple of years ago in Indian Wells, 6-4, 6-4. Berrettini played Berrettini a couple of years ago and smoked him on the grass. Felix Auger-Aliassime, he got Roger. He got Roger a couple weeks ago in Holly. I'm sure if somehow Felix gets through Berrettini, Roger will be more than happy to play him again. I think that would be a nice revenge match for Roger. And I think when it's going on Wimbledon, semifinals, 3 out of 5 sets, everybody in the world rooting for Roger, I don't see Roger losing 2 times in a row to Felix, as great as Felix is. Because as a tennis player, I always remember if I beat somebody, or let's put myself, I guess, in Roger's shoes. That'd be fun. I don't really deserve to be in Roger's shoes, but if as a player, if I lost to somebody that I felt like I was close to or a little better than, and I got to play them a couple of weeks later, I mean, I wanted that match so bad. I wanted that revenge. And on the flip side, if I beat somebody, if I had a big win against somebody, and I had to play him a couple of weeks later, I'm like, oh no, I'm not really ready to play you yet. Like, I don't want to play you this week. I know you want your revenge. So I know Roger will be very, very excited to play who's ever left in the draw up until he gets to Novak. I don't know if Roger might tell you he's excited to play Novak. I don't really believe he is. I don't think many Roger fans, and again, this is another reason why I would have to say that, who is the best, who is the greatest. For many years now, I felt as a Roger fan, I don't want Roger playing Novak. I don't want to have to see that matchup. As a Novak fan, you guys have had the luxury of basically saying, I don't give a damn who Novak plays. He's not losing to anybody. I don't think Novak fans really fear any matchup out there, which makes sense because Novak has a winning record against everybody. If you're a Novak Djokovic fan, who do you fear? I mean, I think the only thing you fear is like a Novak injury, a Novak controversy. That's the only thing out there staying Novak's way. So, if it's Djokovic and Federer in the final, you give Federer, you have to give him a chance. You can't. I'm not saying, Federer's got no chance against Novak. They just played a couple of years ago. Roger had 2 match points. He really should have won that match. It's just in the big moments, Federer somehow blinks and Djokovic doesn't blink. And so I see that's the way it's going. So let me take a look here at the draw. I'm going to keep talking to you guys. I'll keep reading your comments, but I'm going to pick out the Wimbledon draw here. We might share the screen if I can get the draw up nice and big for you guys. But yeah, we're going to take a look and see who we think is going to get to the finals. Semifinals. Who will the semifinal matchups be? Is there anybody really who can take out either Roger or Novak? It's looking like the chances are pretty slim for both players to go out. They're getting more and more confident. So yeah, I've got the draw up here. I'm going to share the screen. So let's share the screen so we can take a look at the draw together. Let me know what your thoughts are if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay. Let me know what you guys think about this draw and how it's going to play out. So right now we've got Djokovic versus Hurkacz. This guy's a great player. I got to actually see him, this Australian Open hat. I saw Roger play him, and he won the first set off Roger. And I thought, wow, this guy is super talented, because even though Roger lost the first set, I thought Roger was playing pretty good. And this guy has a lot of game. I think his game might transfer very well on the grass because he's got a lot of different speeds to his game. He can slice, he can come over the ball, he can come to the net. Very crafty player. He could present some problems to Novak. He's played a lot of matches. I think he's one of the players out there, like a Rublev, like a Tsitsipas, like a Hurkacz, who's played most of the events. So he's very match tough. He's somebody that absolutely deserves to be in the quarterfinals, because I just feel when you're playing your best tennis, you're playing the most tennis. You're match tough. You're playing week in and week out. You're really grinding it out. You deserve those victories. You get more and more confident on how to pull out matches, and this is a good surface for him. Now, with all that said, he's playing someone who's arguably the GOAT. I think he's the GOAT. And he's on fire. He's playing incredible. I don't think Djokovic's confidence could possibly be higher. I don't think his desire could be higher. He really, really knows that time right now when he's comparing himself to the other big two. He's part of the big three. The other two, let's face it, the window's closing on Roger. He's pretty much 40, even though he's 39. He's pretty much 40. Nadal is still there, but Nadal's starting to go to a limited schedule. I just think there seems to be more wear and tear on Rafa's body than on Novak's body. Novak is just so much into his fitness, so much into his stretching routine, that I think his body is just at this point, a better machine than Rafa's. So Novak knows, hey, now's my time, man. If I just maximize where I am, I can win Wimbledon. That puts me at 20. I can win the Olympics. That's amazing. And I can win the U.S. Open. And then everybody else just needs to shut the hell up, because I'm the GOAT and no one can say a damn thing about it. So, is Novak going to lose here? No way. So let's put him in the semifinals. Kachanov, another dude I'm happy to see get to the quarterfinals. I've always looked at his game. It's a little one-dimensional, but he's an extremely hard worker, and what he does well, he really does well. I mean, big serve, big forehand, pretty good backhand, really pounds the ball. Not bad at coming in, not great. He doesn't have a ton of variety to his game, but what he does really well. And he's been working very hard out there in the tour as well, playing lots of tournaments. Still very iffy results. He's not having consistent results. So, certainly has a chance to beat Shapovalov. Shapovalov, to me, is kind of under the radar. And what's really under the radar, I think, if you haven't noticed, he's getting more mature. I think everybody loves to watch Shapovalov hit the tennis ball. Very, very fun. Very eye-pleasing shots. A lot of variety, a lot of flair. We love that kind of style as tennis fans. But he can be very annoying with his whininess, with his immature decisions. Even some of his arguments with the umpires are just like very childish. The things that come out of his mouth, just like, Ugh, so cringy. And then when you do your rap, El Chapo, don't do the rapo. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's embarrassing. It's not fun to watch. You're not very good at it, and you just don't look or play the part of a rapper. So just don't do it. Okay. It makes all us tennis people look stupid. So these are all the things that were not really crazy and about Shapovalov, but he has shown a lot of maturity lately. I mean, look at these results here. Very good results. And leading up to the French Open, he was playing great. He played a great match against Rafa, gave Rafa everything he could handle. And Rafa just stepped up to the plate and won these massively big points and just barely held off Shapovalov. And even as Shapovalov, lost that match in defeat, I love the way he competed till the very, very end. No whininess, no excuses. Didn't run for the back door like Nick Kyrgios would do. He just stood there, dug in, fought to the last point. And so if he's going to keep doing this, he's going to gain a lot more respect from many people on the tour and also many fans. So, it looks like he's finally maturing. Somebody certainly talented enough should be in quarterfinals. And if he can mature and keep playing hard and just, keeping his mind right, he could do great things in tennis. So, if I had to pick, I'm going to pick Shapovalov to get into the semifinals against Novak Djokovic. And of course, I'm going to pick Djokovic there. I'm not going to even go into a big match analysis. I'm just going to pick Djokovic. Why would I not pick Djokovic? I'd have to be stupid not to pick Djokovic. All right, so now we got Berrettini versus Felix all day Aliassime. Now, Berrettini has just been dominant. He really has. He's dominating right now. Federer's playing great. Berrettini might be the most scary player on this bottom half of the draw because he's just crushing. And I think his confidence getting bigger and bigger. He's hitting massive balls. He's moving great for a big dude. I like the way he can come in and close off points. Massive serve, massive forehand. Backhands can be suspect, but he's managing it very well. Felix, so happy to see him in a quarterfinals. Really like this guy. Somebody that, if anything, he might try too hard. There's a Rick Macy saying that he says, try not to try, meaning that sometimes you try so hard, you get too nervous, you put too much pressure on yourself, you don't play with a clear head. I think these are all the things that happen to Felix. I don't think you can possibly fault the guy for his work ethic, for his attitude. I think that sometimes he's almost too smart and works too, like he wants it too much for his own good and doesn't quite know how to put it together. So great to see him here. But, you never know how they're thinking. He might be still very hungry and super motivated to get to the semifinals, but he might be like, damn, I finally had a breakthrough. I'm in the final 8. I'm at final 8 at Wimbledon. He might let his foot off the gas a little bit. I think Berrettini, he's getting used to being around the final 16, the final 8, sometimes in the final 4. I think Berrettini is ready for this moment. I think he's going to feel more at home and comfortable than Felix is. Quarterfinals, Wimbledon. It's going to be more real to Felix and maybe a little overwhelming. Berrettini, I think he's used to this now, and I think he is playing better. So I think Berrettini's going to win that match. Federer versus Hurkacz. Again, Hurkacz has the game to beat Roger. There's no question. He's got the game. I mean, I'm a Roger, massive Roger fan. Hurkacz is playing some damn good tennis. He's played a lot of matches. Okay, so he's more match tough in the short term. Federer's got a whole history of some of the most amazing accomplishments in tennis to fall back on. So, so Federer doesn't necessarily need to be match tough. Match tough, that's a saying that it doesn't necessarily mean that like Federer's not tough in matches. That's not what I'm saying. as a coach and as a player, you're like, is your player match tough? What does that mean? It means like they've got a lot of matches under their belt going into a big match. Like they're ready. They've been playing. You know what you're going to get. They're ready to peak. They're used to competing. And so Hurkacz has more of that in the short term than Federer, but Federer's got a whole damn library of amazing moments to go through in his head and the way things feel out there at Wimbledon that you just can't compare. No one can even imagine what that's like. But a few players like a Roger or Novak or a Rafa or a Becker or McEnroe. So Federer, I give the nod to. He's getting better and better every match. I think Federer's variety is a big plus in this match. Look for him to get that big serve back in play. He'll be super happy if he can get out in front of the serve and keep the ball low on the return, especially on the backhand side. Draw Hurkacz in to make a very tough shot on the backhand. Maybe bring Hurkacz to the net when Hurkacz doesn't want to come. Get 1 or 2 breaks a set. Boom. He's in the semifinals against Berrettini. Do we look at what happened a couple of years ago? Berrettini, Federer, a couple of years make a big difference. I'd be surprised if Berrettini came out and got smoked like that again against Roger. He had an awful performance against Roger on grass a couple of years ago, and Federer ate him alive. Federer obviously has a better grass court game, but I can't imagine that Berrettini is going to go out there and play that poorly again. I know Federer played really well, but I just don't see that happening. I think it's going to be a tight match. And of course, Federer is there at the semifinals, and he sees that he knows he's got to get to Novak to keep Novak from getting to 20 and possibly get him to 21. I think Fed's going to find a way to get there. Does that mean just by getting there he's going to stop him? But I think Roger's mindset is probably this. Look, I don't mind if Novak wins 20 majors. I don't mind if Novak passes me. Of course, everybody wants to be known as the GOAT. Federer, of course, would want the Grand Slam record. But what I do think Roger's thinking is like, if anybody's taking it, right? If Novak's going to do it, he's got to go through me. He's got to beat me. He might beat me, but he's going to have to beat me to do it. And that's what I think Roger is thinking. And I think that the GOATs seem to always make magic moments happen. So that is what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. How did you guys like that analysis? All right, so we've got a lot of people online. Very, very exciting. And let's see here. Let's see what you got. You guys have put a lot of comments since I left. I want to thank you guys for being on this live stream with me. I did put a live stream out before this Wimbledon started saying, Wimbledon might suck this year. And my thought was, if Roger goes out early and Tsitsipas doesn't do well, which Tsitsipas went out early, Murray went out. I mean, so many people went out. But again, here's Roger and Novak making this interesting, making this very, very enjoyable for tennis fans all over the world, to where the interest right now is at a super high level. It's at a super high level. Diego says Federer needs to play like he's got nothing to lose. Yes, he does. Who are your picks for the semis? All right, I went through that. Federer has exceeded expectations so far. No one can say what will happen now. Well, that's true. I mean, Federer at age 40 to reach the quarterfinals, you can't say enough about that accomplishment. I mean, I remember when Jimmy Connors got to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open at age 39, we couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe he did it. And it was one of the funnest, most magical runs ever. And you really realize, since you knew Connors was old and Connors had stopped winning Grand Slams for a while, you knew what a special accomplishment it was just to be at age 39 and win matches, no less get to the quarterfinals. Well, now Roger, hey, I'm doing a live stream. My mom is in the background, everybody. Hopefully she's feeling better. Mom, are you feeling better? Yes. She's feeling better. So Connors, what he did was amazing. Now Federer, I think we just take it for granted because he always makes the game look so easy. You know, Connors is obviously grinding it out. But Federer is still making the game look easy. All right, let's hear what you guys have to say. Who's the tougher opponent, Roger or Novak? Well, I mean, I think Novak's probably the toughest opponent ever to play because he does everything perfectly and just doesn't miss many balls. Sometimes Roger, when the moment gets really, really tight, sometimes he blinks and he shanks some shots. You're not going to see Novak give you a match ever. You know, Roger doesn't do it too often, but sometimes he does. George Ryan says, Federer's poor break point conversion rate won't help him against Novak. I think you're 100% right on that. Novak's Roger does seem to be playing these big matches. I've noticed it. I started noticing Roger's poor break point conversions way back in like 2006 or something like that when he played Rafa Nadal in the finals of the Australian Open. He had like, I don't know, close to 30 break points and you know, got a handful of them. So Roger seems to struggle with break points. I don't know. He just doesn't play those points the same as he plays the rest of them. He tends to get a little nervous, a little choky. Imagine if Roger beats Novak in the final, then retires, leaving Novak with a sour memory for the rest of his life. Yes. I don't think he's going to do that, guys. He's going on to the Olympics. He's already committed to the Olympics, which is super exciting. He told in Halle, he said that he'd be back next year. I think that this is only a lot of encouragement for Roger that, hey, you know, I've barely played any tennis and I'm already one of the 8 best players out there already. So I think that even if Roger were to lose, I don't think he's going to, but if he were to lose to Hurkacz, I still think he's walking away going, man, I still have a lot of tennis left in me. And I think if he won Wimbledon, it would not be his swan song. You know, kind of how Pete Sampras won the U.S. Open. Then he's like, all right, I'll see you guys later. I don't think Roger's going to do that. I think Roger will be just more encouraged to keep playing. If Hurkacz beats Federer, then Hurkacz will win the title. Then I want Hurkacz to win the title. Okay. I mean, that would be cool to see Hurkacz win the title. You know, here's one thing. If Roger loses before the finals, I'm actually going to be rooting for Novak. I think it would be really neat and cool for our sport to see somebody going for not only the Grand Slam, winning all 4 majors, but then the Golden Slam, winning the Olympics. So, you know, if he's come this far and he's going to win Wimbledon, we might as, at least in my mind, I want to see him go all the way and complete everything. That would be really awesome. Novak will win Wimbledon 4 sets against Roger. Mark my words. Okay, well, mark your words down. Let's see here. Anything else? You guys, a lot of great comments. Can anyone play till the age of 40? I mean, yeah, age 40 doing this. I don't know. I don't think anybody's won a Grand Slam at age 40. I think like if Roger wins Wimbledon, this will be one of the greatest accomplishments in all of sports, but certainly tennis. It'll be one of the great. It's right up there. I think Rafa winning 13 French Opens, I think that's the greatest single accomplishment in tennis, even more than winning 20 Grand Slams. Winning 1 Grand Slam 13 times is just crazy. But somebody winning a major at age 40, Rafa's still number 1. I'm not replacing 13 times, but winning a major at age 40 is really, really close to being up there as far as one of the most just crazy accomplishments. Shapo, one of my favorite players. Yes, he is a great player. El Shapo, heavy shots, much improved consistency. Yes, the consistency is better, right? We're not seeing those double faults. We're not seeing the boneheaded misses. He's definitely getting better at his game. Pete, nice analysis. I would like to add another point. Hurkacz having a big serve. Federer's been able to handle those types of players before. Just ask poor Andy Roddick. That's very true. Roger is very good at neutralizing big serves. And so, yeah, I think Roger will probably do that again. All right, let's see. Anything else? I think we're going to take off now. I bet. Oh, there's a $1,000 bet on the line. I just saw. Where is that? I bet $1,000 against Novak tomorrow. Hopefully, I can give you guys some good news. That's crazy. What are you betting $1,000 against Novak Djokovic for? I think that's a crazy bet, my friend. But hey, I hope you win and share the money with us. Shapo chokes against Novak in big moments. Shapo looks different this year. Totally agree. Love it, says Michael Fuller. Shapo looks solid. A lot of people are impressed with Shapo. Hi, Mom, says George Ryan. You got a hi, Mom. For Federer to beat Novak, he needs to play his A+++++++ game. I 100% agree. Yes, I mean, Roger to beat Novak will have to be absolutely perfect, especially if he gets a match point, especially have to convert better in break points. And let's face it, Novak will have to be a little off. He's gonna if Novak plays his A++++ game, Roger's not winning. I hate to tell Fed fans that. All right, so that is it for me, guys. What did I just get a $5? That is so nice. 150 people on the live chat. Great live. Shout out to Pete's mother. And he gave us $5. Wow. What a day. All right, guys. So on your way out, smash the like button. Subscribe. We'll see you guys. I will be back with more analysis. More analysis. We're certainly going to be following this thing all the way down to the wire. This is getting super exciting. I think we just really have to pray that Roger and Novak keep winning to just, make this more and more exciting so we get the ultimate finish. I thought that was one of the deflationary things about the French Open is it was to see Rafa and Novak having to play in the semifinals to me was kind of a bummer. Didn't like to see that. Thought they should have been on opposite sides of the draw so you can see that happen in the finals. But we have it set up perfectly now. Novak's on one side, Rogers on the other side. They're both playing great. They both should win on paper. So let's see if it happens. We'll see you guys on future live streams.